Welcome back to Andersen Acres. We're inside with Tequila today, and we're having a good time, yeah? I love you very much. And we are going to talk again about teaching your dog to speak. This is teaching your dog to speak part 2. So the second step. So before we talk about the second step, let's just talk about teaching your dog to speak at all, okay? Because it's confusing. We spend a lot of time telling our dogs not to bark. Just a second. We spend a lot of time teaching our dogs not to bark, telling them to be quiet, and then we want to teach them to bark when we want them to. So it's a confusing thing for dogs to learn. It can be difficult for them to grasp sometimes. And not only that, it can be really easy to get it wrong because dogs are a lot like people. They do what works. So when we're talking about teaching your dog to speak or bark on command, hi vodka, but when you're teaching your dog to do that, it's really easy to kind of miss the mark and you end up getting a dog who follows you around all day barking because you have inadvertently given them a treat for barking when you didn't ask them to. And if it works for them, they're going to keep doing it. So it's really tricky to first get them to understand that you want them to bark now and you don't want them to bark later. And then it's also really hard to... What are you doing? It's just a Christmas train. And a cat. Leave the cat alone. Leave the Christmas train alone. We're going to pack it up this weekend. The Christmas train is irritating to both cats and dogs. They don't like it. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. Anyway, so it's really easy to miss your mark and to get your dog barking at you when you don't want them to. So this is not something I love teaching my dogs. Whiskey does it. Tequila sort of. I worked with her a little bit in the last video. I'll be honest, I haven't worked with her between videos. Usually I do. But in this particular case, I didn't because it's not really a skill I need. So I never tell my dogs not to bark. They're Great Pyrenees. They need that bark. They use it to ward off predators, and they also use it to alert me that there is something going on. Okay? This is her Christmas bandana. Yeah, you good boy, Walker. Stop punching. Kisses. Anyway, so the first step in getting your dog to bark was to get them to make any sound at all. Sit this way. Sit this way. Oh, come on. No? Vodka's laying down. He doesn't care. So the first step was to get your dog to bark, making any sound at all. They don't have to bark. She was doing pretty well with the barking. Right? Tequila. Tequila, sit. Tequila. Roar. Roar. Kisses. Okay, we're not going to do it right now. Ow, thank you. I love you too. So we haven't worked on speak at all. So the first step was just getting her to make noise when I wanted her to make noise. It didn't have to be a bark. The second step is to get her to associate that sound, so making a bark. You reward for louder and louder sounds till you get a nice clear bark. Nice butt. Camera loves your butt. Yes, you got a good butt. So the first step was just getting her to make a sound when you wanted her to. The second step is getting her to associate making that sound with the command speak. Okay? So when I say speak, Tequila, she'll bark at me. So we're probably not going to get anything we want here. No. Because we haven't worked on this at all. Yeah, no, so we're not going to have success today. But that's okay. So you tease the treat. Woof. 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 Almost. Woof. Yeah. Yeah. Bark at me. Bark, bark. Bark, bark. Yes. Speak. Speak. Speak, yes. So when you get some sound, I would rather have a big bark, but not really, because I don't really care. But when you get some sound, it's yes and treat. When you get the sound, you say speak and give the treat. What? What are we doing? Rubber. 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 No. No. Rubber. No, don't punch me. Punch you. But don't fight. You want to fight? You want to fight? You want the treat, so bark. Barky barks. Barky barks. Bark. Barkies. 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 Come on, you could do barkies. Rubber. No, rubber. No. Rubber. I'm hiding it. You can't have it. Speak. Yeah. Yes, speak. Yes. So what now? We're not really doing it because we haven't been practicing at all since the last video. So what you do is once she is responding to the speak, then you hold out for bigger barks. You want bigger and bigger barks to get a nice clear roof right at you. Okay, fine. Everybody wants a treat for doing nothing. You can have a treat. And vodka is right here. You can't have vodka's treat, you treat monger. Yeah. I don't have anything else. Yes, I do have more stuff, but you can't have it unless you bark. You have to bark. You have to. Ready? Look at me. No, I don't want your foot. Anyway, so that's basically what you do. You take it slow, you be patient because it is a difficult skill for a dog to learn, especially when you've been telling them for the last 6 months that they need to be quiet. So you've been telling them, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet. And now you want barks. You want this one? You want barks. I want big barks. All right. Can we do big barks? Yeah, big barks. Yes, speak. Good girl. So we're not going to get the results we want because I have not been working with her. Full disclosure. If you had been working with your dog over the last week, by now they would be doing it. But she's not going to do it, and really, Vodka doesn't care. He's going to go to sleep. He's tired. And Whiskey already went to bed. It is dark out after all. So that is basically step 1 and step 2 of getting your dog to speak. All you have to do is practice a lot, because it does take a lot of practice. And you can't reward your dog for making sound when you don't want them to. So if your dog follows you into the kitchen and you're cutting some cheese and the dog barks at you, don't give them the cheese, because they have already figured out with the training sessions that sometimes if they bark at you, they get a snack. If you give them the cheese, then they'll be convinced that barking at any time gives them a snack, and then you have a problem. So I don't love teaching speak, and I end up doing it anyway, even though I don't love it, just because it's funny. Yes, and also because my dad is not helpful. I'll be honest, my dad teaches them to speak more than I do, just because he likes the bark. And sometimes we just have to live with that. Yeah, because the barking is fun. Anyway, that is literally step 1 and 2 of teaching your dog to speak or bark on command. Remember, be patient. Understand that they're probably a little confused when you are teaching them, because it is a really, really confusing trick to learn, and there's Vodka's head. Yes, there's a good boy. I love you too. There's your good boy. Anyway, that is about it for us here today at Andersen Acres. Not a lot of success happening today. Didn't expect it, because I didn't work with them. We'll see you tomorrow.